Wrapping is available. Right now until December 16th, Just Ship will have free pickup or 15% off your total shipping cost. Shop small, ship small. Just Ship is located across from Yandles Building Supply on North Magnolia. Call them at 352-234-3840.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Wednesday morning. Welcome to a hump day edition of Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt on a freezing, and I'm not making that up, freezing Wednesday morning in the Brick City, beautiful Ocala, Florida. You need to relax. Hell, I need to relax. You need to relax, though, and it's only a drive away. We're talking about Miami Beach, Florida. Boy, that sounds good this morning, doesn't it? Yes, that's Miami Beach, with its 7 miles of beaches, its international cuisine, its art and culture, its weather that's warmer than right now here in Ocala. That's right. You could win a hotel stay in Miami Beach and a tank full of gas. You can only win it, though, if you call in and leave us your name and number. Don't just call in and leave us your number. Don't just call in and leave us your name. We need your name and number. Call us at 352-732-8000. That's 352-732-8000. From your friends here at WOCA The Source, Paradise and Heat is only a car drive away, Miami Beach, Florida. Let's go out to the phone lines and say good morning to Galen Unall from Life South. He joins us as he does every day, although I would say it's probably under some sort of consternation that he joins us this morning because he, just like myself, does not like this kind of weather, Galen.
No, it's like 56 degrees right now in Miami and South Beach because I looked and I'm like, where can I go right now and still be happy? And so I've almost have to go to like the Bahamas in order to be happy today.
Cuba?
You
could go to Cuba. Yeah. Cuba's probably warm.
Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't let me in, but it'd be warmer.
Ecuador?
This is ridiculous.
Ecuador?
Yeah, now we're talking right on the equator. I'm going to Costa Rica here in March. I would go to Costa Rica right now. I do not function well. My knees hurt. I've had 3 knee surgeries. They kill me in this weather and when it rains. But at least when it rains, it's gonna end soon. But this cold, man, there's no hope. I cannot get warm.
It's my shoulders. My knees aren't as bad as my shoulders.
Oh, I gotcha.
And my shoulders this morning, I got up. There was a little chill in the house, My girlfriend had got up before me and left to go to work, so she had knocked the chill off the house. But there was still a little chill when I got up first out of bed to go to the shower. And I went to put my arms over my head, and my shoulders are like, no, too cold. We're not functioning.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, what do you, when I go to sleep, if it's below 76 degrees in my house, I cannot sleep. It's just too cold.
Okay, now that's just...
that's in the summer. No, in the summer. I keep my house during the day at about 79 to 80 degrees if I'm in it.
I would die in your house because mine's on about 73 at all times.
Oh, hell no. No. I could not function, man. I would be walking around in a parka.
And we didn't turn the heater on last night. She just turned it on this morning for about 30 minutes to knock the chill off the house because we have a heated mattress pad. So you get
you keep talking about that.
You get a king size bed with that heated mattress pad. Oh, it's like a cocoon.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, growing up, I never had air conditioning. I didn't have air conditioning until I was a teenager.
So you learned to deal with the heat. So you're good in heat.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a big attic fan, and it would just blow around hot air. And I remember the first time I slept on dry sheets. I thought there was something wrong. Only people who grew up in the South and with humidity know what it means to what I'm talking about. And to this day, I can sleep outside pretty easy.
When I was growing up as a kid, unless company was coming over, the air conditioning didn't get turned on. If company come over, the air got turned on. And it was a window shaker unit that was only in the living room. You know what I mean?
Oh, man. Yeah, we didn't need it. We just kept, the windows were open.
Windows open, and I had a fan blowing
year
on me.
round. Yeah, see, we didn't have any fans.
There was no ceiling fan.
Ceiling fans.
Yeah, there was no ceiling fan. It was a box fan in my room that sat up on my desk chair.
No, I didn't have any of that. It was just because I was used to it. I didn't know any better. You know, and to this day, like people go into hotels and crank it down. I'm like, oh, this is about right.
Yeah, first thing I do when I go into a hotel is crank it down as low as it'll go.
See, I can't. My feet hurt because they get cold.
Yeah, but most of the time when I'm in a hotel like that, it's in Orlando. So the reason I crank it down like that is because I know the next time I'm walking back in that room, it'll have been coming from one of the amusement parks, and I'll be a hot mess. I'll be a hot mess. So
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think people want to hear me complain about the weather, but God, I hate it.
It's so cold.
You don't ever hear me complain about it being 98, 99. No. I don't. I feel good about myself when I look at my dashboard and it's triple digits.
You know,
I feel like, all right, I could turn the air down a little bit more.
I know you're wondering. I know you're wondering this question, so I'm going to go ahead and clear it up for you and the listeners. Still in flip-flops.
Yeah, well, and that's important. You can't change who you are.
Yeah, I can't.
You can't change who you
but
are.
I do have on flip-flop socks.
Are they white and they go to about your calf?
No, these are gray with black stripes. They're the hidden ones. They're the low cut socks.
Oh,
and,
I gotcha.
They got a area for your big toe and an area for the rest of your four toes. So it's perfect.
Man, I hate those socks.
They literally are called flip flop socks.
They just fall off my heel all the time.
Well, I got Fred Flintstone feet, so very few socks stay on my feet anyway.
Oh, I got you.
I could pedal a rock wheel car like nobody's business.
And brake well? You got good brakes?
Oh, I got good calluses on the back of the heels. Oh, I could brake. Oh, if I wanted to, I could walk barefoot in Walmart and people would think I do it a lot. I could do that.
Yeah, as long as you don't have tree climbing toes.
No,
that's when you.
Because I go get pedicures. See, I about 8 years ago, I got introduced to the pedicure.
Not a bad thing. Man.
Until you have a pedicure as a guy, you're like, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to stop it. Pedicures. That's for women, And then you go have one.
No.
And then you try to search it out every 3 or 4 weeks to go get another one. And I know the little Asian women that predominantly work in these shops. I know the one that I go to, they'll snicker and they'll look at my feet and they'll show each other my feet and laugh and everything. And they talk in whatever, I think they're Vietnamese and they talk in their native language. And I know they're going, look, he got toe of pterodactyl. He Godzilla feet. I know they're saying that, but I don't care because they're massaging my feet and that makes it all better.
At some point in your life, you're like, you know what? I really don't care what anybody thinks.
Could care less.
I really don't. I mean, I care. Like, my kids make fun of me all day long. I'm over that. As long as my wife doesn't make fun of me, I'm okay. And that's why men. We're at my age. Just give me a pair of khakis, and I don't really care. I'll wear socks and sandals all day long if that's what I want to do.
Who makes...
I've earned that right.
You know who makes the most fun of me? That would be me.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah. Because at some point, you realize, you know what, I can't keep up with societal trends. 100%. And I don't really care anymore. And so you do one of two things when you're our age. You either go out and you buy a really expensive toy, whether it's a car or maybe a monster truck, or you become a drag racer. You're right. You lose your mind, or you just say, the heck with it. I don't really care anymore.
I tell you, that exact thing. I was pulling out of my bank.
Or both.
Yeah, I was pulling out of
Cadillac. So you did both.
No, I got the Cadillac, the SUV, because it's practical to carry my stuff around in. But I saw a guy yesterday, and I thought to myself, God, I'm so glad I'm not that guy. He was probably 55, 56 years old, right around my age, and he was in a brand new 2020 Chevrolet Camaro. and he was sitting all low, and he had his hand up on the top of the wheel like he was riding like an OG and everything, and he's riding around, and I'm thinking, I'm glad I'm not that guy reached a midlife in his area and go, I'm tired of driving the Buick. It's time to get me a sports car. I can't really afford the Vet, so I'll go with the Camaro, which is a good alternative.
See, that's the problem. If you're at that point and you can't have the Corvette,
then you shouldn't don't get the Camaro. Exactly. Go back to the SUV. Go get a Cadillac SUV.
You know I'm a car guy. I love cars. And the new mid-engine Corvette may be the most beautiful car Chevrolet has made since the C2 Corvette. It is spectacular. I don't know if you've seen one in person.
I have not.
They are spectacular. My gosh, you look at that and go, yeah. How much? If I had $100,000, take my money. Just
if I had $100,000,
I said,
if I had $100,000, I'd go get a pristine conditioned 73 Stingray Corvette.
No, you haven't seen the new ones. And if you have that car, you can't really drive it because you're going to feel guilty. I mean, you need to look at the brand new 2020 mid-engine Corvettes, and it may change your mind.
$100,000.
And anyway, if you're going to go with a Corvette, you're not going to go with the 73 Stingray. Granted, you're going to put side pipes on that bad boy, right? I agree with that.
100%.
You're going to want a 63. That's the most beautiful model.
Yeah, that is a nice Corvette.
63 and 67.
That is a nice 2020, Corvette.
Did you Google it?
I have not Googled it yet. I'll do it during the break because we need to take that right now.
All right.
Galen Unall brought to us by our good friends at Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Rehabilitation Center.
This is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
People ask me why I've worked at Palm Garden for so long, and I tell them it's the people. I love to hear the life stories, especially those from the greatest generation. Celebrating life stories is what sets Palm Garden apart, finding out what's important to them. And I love being a resource. Like Macy's Santa, if I can't help, I'll send them to Gimbel's. After all, Palm Garden is located on 34th Street. I'm Jan from Palm Garden. Call me and let's chat. 854-6262.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth. The only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. Galen Unall brought to you by the good folks at Penn Flooring. Family owned and operated, serving Marion County for over 30 years. Penn Flooring owes every bit of their success to their unrivaled customer service. They're a full-service flooring company dedicated to finding the best solution for your flooring needs, and they have experience in both commercial and residential. Drop by their showroom at 1201 Southwest 17th Street here in Ocala, or call them at 352-351-3420. Also, we'd like to thank Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions about Palm Gardens or how they're handling the COVID-19 pandemic, please call 352-854-6262. Galen, we were talking before the break about this Corvette mid-engine, and I went and looked at it. Okay, it looks like they just drove it off a Grand Prix circuit race.
Yeah, well, and again, it comes as a convertible. You can get one that's cheap. It's like $60,000, I think, $65,000. But
the one I looked at was $105,000. The one I looked at was $105,000.
Yeah, and again, if you're going to get that, listen, again, you've just lost your mind. We're having one of the worst years on record. Go for it. 2022 may not make it. So, is it a spectacular car? It's a
It
spectacular
looks
car.
like a spectacular car. You were talking about when you get to our age that you just don't, the social trends and the clothing trends you don't keep up with. Do you find this to be the way you do it too? I'll watch every now and then. I'll come in and my girlfriend or somebody, I'll come into somebody's house and they'll be watching one of those Access Hollywood shows or one of the like former magazines that was at your grocery counter has its own show now or anything.
Yeah.
And they talk about this star and that star, or I'll get updates on my Google. So-and-so is pregnant with a baby, or so-and-so are divorcing. And I'm like, who the hell are these people? Do you find that you don't know the 20-something stars of today? Like, I knew who Anthony Michael Hall was. I knew who Rob Lowe was and Judd Nelson. I knew who those guys were. I have no idea who these 20-somethings are now and could care less.
Well, my wife, we've been married long enough to know that I do. She'll want to talk. I'm like, I'm not talking about this. I find this silly. And she, again, it's the equivalent of you and I talking about athletes. Right, it's you and I talking about who the best baseball player is, or who should have won the MVP this year. Right, it's probably the equivalent, but I could care less about these people. And what makes it worse for me, and this is for athletes too, I really want you to understand. I don't care what you think. That I just do whatever God graced you with the talent. It doesn't mean that you're good enough to, like when they bring stars and celebrities or even athletes in front of Congress to talk about an issue because they played a role in a movie about it. Oh, I hate that. I'm like, really? All right, good for you. Oh, you sang about Farm Aid, so now you understand what farmers need? Oh, just go away. Oh, I hate that.
Go very far away and don't come back forever and ever and ever.
Yes.
Ricky Gervais got it right. When Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes this year said, nobody cares about your politics. Nobody cares. Just get up here, accept your award, thank your manager, and, get off. I don't think he used the word get, but,
No. Sure. Again, I think you're right. But we are a celebrity culture.
I'm a big fan.
For a long time.
I'm a big fan of LeBron James. I like to see excellence and see the best person at any one time. Even though I'm not an NBA guy, I'm a LeBron James guy. No, hear me out. I'm a LeBron James guy because he's good at basketball. But I've not watched a LeBron James game in over a year because I don't need to hear about LeBron's politics. And LeBron soured me by talking more about his politics than his basketball. And I understand he's got a pulpit being a basketball player, but I don't care.
Here's in my house, it's a running joke. I think that LeBron James he's very talented, but he's the millennial poster child.
100%.
He is the poster child for millennials. He's entitled. He's been worshipped his whole life. And he talks about, I watched an interview with him, and I've given him the benefit of the doubt. He talked about, he goes, my whole life was a struggle. Like, what are you talking about? From the time you were 11, you were on a national shoe team, and this national shoe teams were funneling you money and your family money like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah, there was no way he could go to college. He would have never been eligible to go to college.
Right. He's never had a want in his entire life. It just drives me crazy. That kind of thing drives me crazy. It just does. It does. And the fact that he talks about how, America is racist. I mean, look at you. You are the epitome of the American dream. You worked your butt off, and the meritocracy allowed you to become he's not the greatest of all time. He's not even in the top 5. And now look at you, all because of your merits, not because of your parents, not because of anything other than your God-given talent. That is a meritocracy in a nutshell. And he should be embracing that.
And he doesn't.
Instead, he shuns it.
Right, 100%.
No.
I will tell you this, that for folks that just thought he let that slip by when he said he's not the greatest of all time, he's not even in the top 5, Galen, pal, friend of mine.
You want to have the talk?
I agree with you 100%.
Okay, good. 'Cause I'm ready.
I could give you 7 or 8 guys that I think are much better than LeBron James will ever be.
Yeah, I think Michael's the greatest.
Of course he is.
And then we could.
Then you got
and then
Magic,
we could argue about 2 and
Magic
3
or
and
Bird
4.
or Lou Alcindor or Oscar Robertson or Larry Bird.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Bill Russell, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant.
I don't think Kobe and Shaquille are in there, but we could
Shaq's,
argue.
Shaq's definitely in there because he's in there. Shaq is in there because he's one of the top 4 or 5 big men ever to play the game. So he's got to be one of the top 10 guys.
But I put Bill Russell in front of him. I put Wilt in front of him.
Oh, he's the third best big guy. No, Akeem's not better.
No. Yes, he is. You go back and look at some of Akeem's stats. No, you're not going to win that argument.
Shaquille's much better than Akeem. But
no, you're wrong.
You know who is better than LeBron? I'll give you one name that played in the last 20 years is better than LeBron. Tim Duncan.
No.
Oh, yes,
no.
yes. You know why?
He played for a great team.
You know why he's better? Because he played for a good team. He was the star of that team, and he played basketball and moved on. He didn't tell me what he thought, what his problems were in life, nothing. He just played the damn game he was paid to play, and he moved on.
Well, I respect that, but no, he's not. He's not in the top 10.
Yeah, LeBron's really soured.
Player.
LeBron's really soured me in the last,
Well, you just talked about how you liked him.
Oh, I did.
I convinced you in 4 minutes.
No, until this whole thing where he decided that he was going to come out on his Twitter account and talk about what he knew about. He's never in his life faced situations that my best friend Dino Burt faced. He's never in his life had a white guy go to a Klansman's house, a card-toting Klansman in the early 80s in Georgia. A white guy go to his house, knock on the door to get his daughter to come on a date with the white guy, but he really wasn't going on a date with the white guy. The white guy was taking the girl to his best friend who was a black guy, but that was the only way they could go out because her dad would have shot him if he'd have come to the door. LeBron's never faced something like that, ever.
No, I completely agree with that. But LeBron's been this guy. He helped nominate and get Obama elected the first time. He was out on the campaign trail. This is nothing new for LeBron. I mean, he's had that barbershop show for years.
Yeah, for sure. LeBron's never in his life pulled up in a parking lot in Atlanta and had 2 white guys in a big Ford four-wheel drive look down at him and say, "What are you looking at?" and use the N-word towards the guys until the 3 big white guys that were in the back of the Volkswagen Rabbit climbed out the trunk hatchback and explained to the 2 big rednecks in the truck why they shouldn't have used those kind of words. LeBron's never faced stuff like that.
No, and again, I don't even like talking about LeBron because I just think he's fairly useless.
But you're right. He is the epitome of what is wrong with the millennials. 100%, in my opinion. You nailed that. 100%.
Yeah. He's the poster child for the millennials.
And millennials are rolling their eyes if they're listening to this show, which they're probably not, rolling their eyes going, these old guys don't know what they're talking about. And there's people our age going, hammer them some more, hammer them some more.
Yeah, thankfully my kids aren't millennials. They're Generation Z or whatever they're calling them. So.
Yeah, and what are we? We're Gen Xers or something. I forget what.
Yeah, we're Gen X.
Yeah,
we're Gen X. We're the forgotten generation. You know that we're the forgotten generation.
Well, we started the whole. We were the first generation. We were the generation in between the World War II generation and Vietnam generation and the Desert Storm. Although you went and you saw time over in Europe, most of the people my age were a little too old by the time the real work got done. Now, 91 Desert Storm guys my age were in it, but for the most part, the 15-year war that has been going on, 20 years that's been going on since the 9/11 bombing, we were too old for.
Right. Yeah, well, if you think about it, you and I are the first generation that didn't have a draft during its life.
Right. Hey, Galen, where's the blood mobile? We got about 15 seconds.
Yeah. Hey, Walmart in Summerfield, please give blood, donate blood today. Thank you, guys.
Galen, have a good day at work. Stay warm.
Thanks.
We'll be right back after this timeout. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
24 pallets of completed election ballots were loaded onto a truck in New York and taken to Pennsylvania on election night. That's just one of the first-hand election fraud claims made by a whistleblower on Fox Tuesday night.
I know I saw ballots with return addresses filled out, loaded onto my trailer in New York and headed for Pennsylvania, and wondered why I was driving complete ballots from New York to Pennsylvania.
100,000 ballots were missing, and that only 7 or 8 were found at UMS. Based on my previous experience, I believe that to be a lie.
Attorney General William Barr says there's no evidence of election fraud that would overturn the results. The National Football League has a game tonight that was postponed on Thanksgiving. The Ravens at the Steelers starts at 3:40 p.m. Eastern on NBC. USA Radio News.
The stress levels of Americans may be at an all-time high. From education to business to basic needs to politics, the 2020 pandemic-related stressors are pushing many of us to near breaking point. That's why you should consider the stress and pain-relieving products from sunny-bay.com, like our lavender neck wraps and pads infused with premium Washington lavender buds. They relieve tension and relax with a soothing scent of lavender. And lifestyle expert Jennifer Bonner recommends products from Sunny Bay.
Sunny Bay's hands-free neck wrap should be your go-to pain relief solution.
Give gifts to family and friends that relieve stress and pain. Give love and care by giving the best. Give pillows, neck wraps, and body wraps from sunny-bay.com, a Biomed DB design company. Just click sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com.